Hello there, EDAP 689. This is a shortened version of the Collaborate video. I always put these in here. These are very quick sort of how-tos that get at the basis of what we're doing in our class. This particular how-to is going to go back and show you your RSS feed assignment for module number 3 with a focus on how to get podcasts out of the iTunes store. Now, if you do not have an iTunes app on your computer, you can ignore this. There are plenty of other good sites. In fact, I'm going to show you a couple because I think there are some in here that are well worth mentioning to you. So let's do this. What I want to do is I want to go back here to these listings. And as you can see, each of these is sort of an amalgam of different kinds of RSS feeds. Some of these are for blogs. Some of these are for websites. Some of these are for podcasts, in other words, audio files. Let me show you a couple up here in the 25 of the best RSS feeds in education. You have to scroll a little bit because I got this giant graphic. I don't know why. But I wanted you to see Edutopia and Free Technology for Teachers. This is Richard Burns' site, and Rich does a really nice job of putting lots and lots of things out there for teachers. And as we have started moving into this world of the Google Classroom, a lot of his stuff focuses around that. But I'll be quite honest with you, I've used a lot of Richard's stuff over the years, especially his Web 2.0 listings that he puts in here and explanations. It's really good stuff. And as you can see, they do come with little videos. All right, so to get this into my Wikispace assignment, I'm just going to go up here and copy the URL. That's all I have to do. I'm then going to jump over to my Wikispace site. I've created the Who I Listen To. This is Module 3. I'm going to click on the Edit button. I'm going to make sure that I move my cursor down a couple of places. I'm going to hit the widget, RSS feed. I'm going to paste in the RSS feed from his site. I'm only going to have 5. I'm going to show descriptions, show all the things down here, the link, the date, the author, and any audio and video that might be associated with it. Now, in the longer version of this that we did in the Collaborate, I've stressed that you don't have to do 5. If you want to do more than 5, that's fine. It makes your page a little long, but if you find stuff that's really good, please, by all means. But you need to have at least 5, and you need to have a paragraph under each one of these entries explaining to me why you picked this one. So there's an assumption that you're going to spend a little time looking at this and making a decision why you might like this one. So when I click on Embed the RSS feed, I get the little box which tells me everything's fine. When I hit Save again, there's Rich's wonderful Free Technology for Teachers. Highly recommend this one. It's a really good one. And then there's also some other ones here. The Edutopia, if you don't know what Edutopia is, that's sort of the brainchild of Microsoft and Bill Gates. And again, it's sort of a scatter shot of lots and lots of different ideas that have to do with technology and education. A good place. We, in the Collaborate, we did this one, the brain pickings. Again, if you click on Add the Feed, and you go up here and you do a copy, and we come over to our Wikispaces, Edit, move the cursor down below the one I just put in, widget, and the feed, paste it in, check all the boxes, And when I then hit save, I now have 2. The assignment asks you to put in at least 5 of these different RSS feeds of people to listen to. Now, the reason why I'm making this quick little addendum video is I did want to come back and look at the podcast side that is housed inside of the iTunes app. Now, once again, if you don't have an iTunes app on your computer, you can ignore this. It's a marvelous resource, and I just want to make sure that we're clear on how to do this, because it's a little convoluted, frankly. You have to have the app on your computer to be able then to go in and find the RSS feed. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this last link here, and this takes me to this crazy amalgam of podcasts that have to do with education that are housed inside the iTunes store. Now, you have to be aware that some of these may not work. In other words, they may be old enough that their RSS feeds are outdated. So don't feel bad if things don't work right. But like I keep saying, we seem to be in this age of the Google Classrooms. Let's go over here and look at the Google Educast. And we're going to read it a little bit. It's been a foundational podcast for educational media since 2010. The EdReach Network, the Educast has consistently been top 10, so on, so on, so on. Looks interesting. Let's look at some of what we have here. Well, they really don't have very good titles. I mean, I don't really see what they're telling me the episodes are, but I'm going to go ahead. I think I'd like to pull this one in. Now, at this point, I can't come up here and just highlight this. This is not an RSS feed. This is basically a link to the iTunes page that we were just looking at. So I have to view it in iTunes. So it's going to open that app. And now, here I am. I'm in the iTunes app, and I want to subscribe to this particular podcast. Now, I can't stress enough, take the time, click on it, listen to a couple of the episodes to make sure it's something that you're interested in, that you want to put in. If it is, you're going to subscribe. Then you go up here to your library. And as you can see now in my library, I have the Google Podcast. I'm going to right-click on it. And I'm going to copy the podcast URL. This is the true RSS feed. When I have that, I can jump back here to my wiki spaces. I can hit my edit button. Drop down a couple. Of course, I'll have paragraphs underneath these explaining why I picked them. RSS feed. Drop the URL in. Show descriptions, show date, author, and definitely you want to show audio and video because these will have audio files associated with them. And then you're going to embed it. Now when I hit save, I now have little players down here that will play my podcast that I have now put into my wiki spaces. So I wanted to make sure you saw that again. If you haven't listened to the entire Collaborate video, this was a very shortened version of how to get and to put RSS feeds into your wiki space. Let me emphasize that the assignment asks you to find at least 5. You can put more than 5. That'd be wonderful. But at least 5. Here we go. At least 5 to sites or podcasts. And then I need you to write a paragraph explaining the reasons why you chose the people you did. Do not forget to read the articles that are housed inside of the folder here, the module folder, right here. If you want to, there's just a PowerPoint, and then down here, if you want to skip this one, you can, because this is really nerdy, really kind of techy. You don't really need to read that one unless you just want to know what's under the hood of all this stuff, because it does a nice job. Okay, so this video gives you a very quick way to embed RSS feeds into your wiki spaces for module number 3.